Thanks, I covered it. Go ahead, hit me. I know what the question's going to be.
Just a little, sorry. I'm just curious, you're carrying on about Whitey Bulger, and how does that affect you as running for a positive role model as a sheriff? I understand experience, but enlighten me.
How does the Bulger story relate to me being the sheriff? I think you want to know the background of a person's integrity and how a person would stand up and do what's right when that time came. My whole career, there were people trying to investigate organized crime in Boston for many years, including Bulger, and that stuff was tipped many times. I was not out there doing what was appropriate, what would get me promoted. I wasn't out there doing what was something that was popular. My career was at risk. I worked plain clothes many years. My family went through a lot during and I would do what it takes in my career to do the right thing. I talked to you about Bulger because I did not have an ordinary public safety career. I put a lot into it and I worked very hard over those years.
And then pension?
I'm not going to stand up here and apologize to anybody about my pension. I was the head of the state police. I donated into that pension system. I'm proud of my record, and I don't feel like I have to go out and apologize for the work that I did. I can stand in front of all of you here and say to you, I represented you proudly. I was not corrupt. I actually investigated public corruption against odds of the federal government. I was under investigation at one point, at numerous points during the investigation, where they were bringing me down to Washington to answer questions about the investigation. They were trying to do what they could do to knock us off course. I want you to know I'm not an individual that's just taking this position lightly, that I'm going to work very, very hard at it and put my heart and soul into it like I did, like I've done with the state police in my 30 years of service. Go ahead, sir.
You made reference yourself to the immigration issue, which is a bit extraneous to the position you're running for.
Right.
But in view of that, and it's interesting, by the way, to know that you're one of the 758 people across the country who actually watches MSNBC. But in view of that illusion...
I actually just flipped by it.
In view of that illusion, you say that the problem of illegal immigration should be solved nationally, essentially. In the perception of many people in the public, the problem is precisely one of politics here. You may have heard the expression being used as a synonym for illegal immigrant, that is undocumented Democrat. The question is, can the problem be solved nationally given the present administration and people of that party? When Arizona took the initiative to do what the government should have done, it was only acting on the basis of, for example, Federalist Paper number 27, which expressly says that indeed states have such a right.
I'm not going to approach this from a Democrat or Republican perspective because the last administration didn't do anything about it either. And this administration isn't doing anything about it. Maybe we need to do something about it. And that's where I'm coming from. You asked me how, and I'll tell you, this is the beginning. This is why people are here, because they're frustrated tonight. But like I said to you, if we pulled together, when I was a colonel, right after 9/11, we had to pull all law enforcement people together to start working. And I've already said, I know every sheriff in this county. I've worked with them under different conditions. So if you come back and, it's a beginning if you can come back and say, listen, we do have an immigration problem. It's very serious, and we as a group, and whoever else we can get involved out there to bring that forward. It's unrealistic to think that's going to be done at the Worcester County Sheriff's Office. When I was in Leominster as a station commander, we had somebody under arrest over there that came in that was making Social Security cards and making false immigration documents. I called directly down to ICE, and there was a Friday or a Saturday night. They said, well, just book them and bail them, and we just can't respond. And they can't respond right now. And I don't think it's that they don't want to. They do not have the manpower or the resources to do that. And that's the reality of it. The government has to start putting that stuff in place. Yes, sir.
Going back to that for a second, Yahoo News, which is, let's say it's not one of the more conservative sources, on Friday at 9:21, basically said that one of their bursts came out and said that the judge sharply questions the federal argument against Arizona law. And I understand that at a county level, a town, city level, that we have to, we can't really go against the federal law, but when we pass laws locally, like Arizona did, and in this state where we have Martha Coakley, where it's not illegal to be illegal, it has to start somewhere. And if we keep kidding ourselves saying that, well, somebody else will take care of that, and you know what? At the sheriffs and at the jails, that's a great place to start it.
Well, I think, I agree with you what you're saying, but I also will say this to you. I think most law enforcement officers would agree with you, period, just not at the jail. And, you know, we had an opportunity, like the Rhode Island State Police has now, to have that authority to do the immigration pickups and the arrests and so forth, but, you know, we're not using it in the state. Yes, sir.
Your presentation to us tonight, your very opening couple sentences, you said, "We don't see eye to eye on a number of things, but I'm here." Could you tell this group what you don't see as a numbers of things?
You know, I can't be specific. I'm talking about the Tea Party maybe.
You said it, Tom.
I know. I understand that. I would say that about the Democratic Party. I would say it about the Republican Party. I don't think there's anybody in this room that's going to agree on every subject. So please don't take me specifically for that. There's nothing. If you and I sat down and had a discussion, I'm sure I'd be able to say I disagree with you on that issue.
So you're making a public pronouncement that you disagree on a number of things with this group, but you don't know what they are. I know that's not what I meant, sir, at all. And if I gave you that impression, I apologize. Okay. I just want to say to you, I want to bring, you know, I have a lot of respect for those individuals that work at the House of Corrections. And you know what? It's convenient nowadays to start taking isolated public safety people and start saying, you know, their pensions are too large. I may not be the right person to stand up and do it, but I know what I went through in a 30-year career, and I know what these guys go to work every day and stand in the blocks and what they do. None of you people would want to go into a block every day under those conditions. So I'm saying I support what they do. We had a trooper that just got killed 3 weeks ago jumping over a guardrail. How many people go to work and put themselves in that position every day? Thank you.